Hello, welcome to our week 9. For me, this is day 61, so for many of you will be as well. Well done to everyone who got to day 60. If this is the end, well done. If you can't, just carry on, because you may as well just keep going. This is the best thing you can do for yourself and for your practice. Now, this week we've been working on a lot, talking about how to practice for performance. How do we get ready for performance? At the end of the day, performance is what we are practicing for. We are always getting better to be able to perform better in a concert or in an audition or whatever that means for your performance. But music, it is to be performed, to be enjoyed in a performance. So it's really important that we prepare for it and we get as many tips as we can for it. So this week we talked about, if you followed my short videos, we talked about a few things to help you prepare for performances. The first one is to listen to a performance, either live, which can be very helpful because you get to see a lot, not just listen to it, but also visually how people perform. You get to also feel the audience, how it is, was like electricity that goes from the performer and the audience. You get a lot more out of it. So I would recommend you to go to as many performances as possible because you're going to learn a lot from them. But listening and, for example, just following the score, the music, while you're listening, that could be a really good way of getting ready for a performance because it's like doing a playthrough, but without having to do it on the violin. So that really helps. And that connects with mental practice. That's something that I touched on yesterday. So mental practice is something that sometimes feels a bit strange and it's difficult to explain or difficult to show, especially in a video. But basically, it's very simple. It's simply just going through the music in your head. That's why listening is a good idea, but then without the music sounding, you have to go through it in your head. And in that way, you can imagine, you can visualize in your head, how are you going to perform the piece? What does it look like where you are? Just close your eyes and try to really feel what it feels like to be performing in front of an audience. If you have been to this place before, you can imagine what it looks like. You can imagine the audience in front of you. It doesn't have to be a scary audience, it can be a smiley audience. You can put it in a very positive way, which is going to help you later with the performance. And really going through the piece and thinking, how do you feel when you play this section and the other section? How are you going to phrase? What musicality you're going to do? All of that can be really interesting if you can do it when you're performing, when you're practicing. Once you've done all of this in your head, you go back to your instrument and then you try to replicate what you just played. You do a performance. So we talked about as well doing performances for your family or for your friends or even for stuffed, for toy animals. It doesn't matter as long as it is practicing to perform in a more familiar way, that you don't feel nervous, that you feel quite happy and quite content. You don't have to feel scared. You can feel all those positive ways that then can translate into the real performance outside with a real audience. So do as many mini performances as possible. Play through the piece, see how it goes, and also record yourself. But if you record yourself, make sure that you actually listen to it. And how do we listen to it? That's going to be really, really interesting because there's different ways of listening to yourself. One is, I don't like it. I don't want to hear myself. It's a bit like, I don't like hearing my voice. I didn't like it either. But you get used to it. It's like, okay, this is how my voice sounds from the outside. And yes, the recording is never going to be super accurate. It's not going to sound exactly like a real sound, real performance. But it's going to highlight bits that you're not able to hear while you're performing. What do I mean? I mean, when we are playing, we're so invested in what we're doing that we are not able to hear it from the outside. So hearing it back and really objectively, don't take it personally, just objectively, oh, that didn't work. Oh, that didn't sound so good. Oh, I thought this, okay. Oh, that sounded really good. Maybe I'll remember to do it that way. Oh, that was a surprise. I didn't know I was playing it like that. It sounds really good. That's pretty in tune. that shift I've been practicing is much better. All those things can really, really help to later on continue to practice and finalize those little bits that you were not so happy about and get them better for the future. And also to know what works. It's really, really important. Because you can obviously have somebody outside listening to you and giving you feedback. That's excellent. But if you can do your own feedback, that's even better, because you're training that part of your brain as well. So all those little bits, and also, for example, practicing sometimes not just the sections by themselves, which is really important, or doing slow practice, everything we've been talking about. Sometimes the transitions between the different sections. How do we practice that? Just practice a transition. Try the ending of one section, the beginning of the other one. What did it change? Is it the dynamic change? Is it the tempo change? Is it both? Is it a different character? Whatever it is, be very clear, and then you can think ahead what's coming during that transition and make it seamless, so that it doesn't feel forced, it doesn't feel like something is not right. So, what are we going to do to prepare for performances, especially at this time of the year? Here in the UK is November, December, nearly tomorrow is December. Actually, no, today is December, sorry. 1st of December already. Wow. And being 1st of December, there's lots of Christmas concerts and performances. So getting ready for those can be really helpful. And how do we do it? It's really important. So, first thing I would do is, there's any sections that are not working, work on them separately, slowly. If there's sections in between, practice those transitions. Play through the piece a few times. If you have a performance of different pieces, do random performances to different people, to different things, animals, whatever you want to do, your pets. Just make sure that you perform them as many times as you can. And maybe in a random moment, just pick up your instrument and just play through it. Just see how it goes, and then do something else. Because in the day of the concert, you're not going to have 3 or 4 tries. You're going to have just the one. And coming in from not warming up, just ready to play. And then, apart from that, listen to the pieces, get a feel of how it goes, go to more performances if possible, see how people perform, see what you can get from it. Record yourself, listen to your own recordings, and be self-critical in a positive way. Just make sure that you're always positive, you always find good things, and then, okay, these 2 or 3 things I can definitely work on and get better at. And then just enjoy, just try to focus not only on the technical, on the intonation, on all those little bits that we've been working on so hard. Try to think of the bigger picture. How does the musicality work? How is the phrasing? Does it sound the character that we are trying to get to this piece? What does it make me feel? Focusing on that will help us to focus on that when we are in the concert. It's the focusing on little details that might throw us out of our performance. Try to get in that performance mode of expressing, of saying something, doing a story through the music. I hope this is helpful, and please let me know how your performances go this next few weeks, and if any of these practice tips are helping. Enjoy.